Hi there Libra, thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for May. This can be a month of some intensity, but it's going to be fascinating. The one thing it won't be is dull. And it's a time of potential transformation. Pluto, clashing with Uranus over the last 3 or 4 years, has been leaving your relationship sector very unsettled. That particular aspect has come to a close. But Pluto itself is in a retrograde this month, along with Mars, Saturn, Jupiter and also Mercury. Well, at least as far as the month begins. Now Mercury is the planet of communication, and it, along with the Sun and Venus, your ruler, are all located in the deepest, most intense part of your scope, known as the 8th house. This can be a time of new realizations, particularly on the back of the new moon of the 6th, which combines brilliantly with Pluto. Now when the Sun gets together with Pluto in a positive way, transformation can come from outside of us, or it can come from deep within our souls. It just depends on our unique circumstances. There could be a little bit of both. But if you're contemplating anything around property, or a big commitment, or anything to do with business, savings, pensions, it really wouldn't be a surprise. But with Mercury tracking backwards, it is going to be important that you're very aware of the details. Information can be exchanged, there could be some frustrating delays, not everything is going to go exactly as we'd all like. Jupiter, the planet of growth, is also tracking backwards, at least the first 8 days of this month, but for the whole of May is in an opposition with Neptune. Now Neptune's been causing mischief for you, potentially, over the last few years, when it comes to your commitments and obligations to others. And there may be times this month when you do feel a heavy strain, somewhat of a burden from what other people expect of you. However, if you give of yourself freely and to situations which really inspire you, like a charity or any kind of activity that helps those who are less fortunate, it can be a month that really helps you to feel much better about yourself, and you can provide some very practical but also spiritual guidance to those people who are receptive to what you have to offer. But that particular aspect doesn't work so well if other people just assume that you're always going to be there to pick up the tab in terms of their needs. And there could be a potential for you to feel that other people expect this so much that it can be almost overwhelming. At its most extreme, with this gathering of planets in your 8th solar house, something could come to an end where you just don't feel that you can take any more. But on the other hand, after every ending there becomes a new beginning, and there is the possibility for this in this situation. And Venus, your ruling planet, is going to go on and forge from the 11th to the 16th a stunning alliance with Pluto. And if you are connecting with someone that there is a real simpatico between you, or some kind of shared or mutual interest or gain, be it through a business, maybe it's going to be through a love relationship, there can be something that happens which really is uplifting, and it may well be to do with, as I say, property. But with Mercury tracking backwards, there could also be some times when you're waiting for a vital piece of information, or you're feeling you're needing to rattle the cage of someone that you need to interact with, a professional. Perhaps it's going to be someone in the legal system or a financial decision. But try to stay patient, because Mercury is actually going to be forging an amazing link with Pluto for much of this month. So although it is tracking backwards, it's not going to stop you gaining ultimately. It's just that things may not go quite as quickly as you would like. And with Mars and also Saturn in the part of your horoscope to do with your everyday communications, if you do find yourself becoming really quite frustrated, then the worst thing you can really do is boil over and start issuing ultimatums. Your natural talent for diplomacy is going to be important, therefore. Remember, it's all about patience and the passage of time, rather than showing the more fiery side of your nature, which can come out if things aren't progressing as you wish. But from the middle of the month, Mercury joins up with Jupiter and Pluto in a grand trine, which is really significant, and something that you've wanted, you've yearned for a very long time, can start to shape up in a real tantalizing way. I think by the time that the Sun moves into your sister air sign of Gemini on the 21st, and there is a full moon on the same day, a crucial conversation over the next 3 or 4 days can be a turning point, particularly when Venus moves into Gemini too on the 24th. It's true that she does go into some turbulence with Mars for a few days around that time, and there could be some fierce exchanges where you may find yourself absolutely fascinated by someone who you can't quite work out why you are drawn to them, but there may be something about them that you find to be very compelling. But once things settle down, Venus is going to give you the opportunity to really ferret out the information you need in that silky and light touch way that you're so skilled at doing. But Mars, continuing to wind backwards, does then reverse back into Scorpio on the 28th, and for 2 months, around your everyday financial resources, there may be times when you're having to cut things a little bit tighter and finer in order to make it all come together. But with Saturn also clashing with Jupiter all of this month, it is important to understand the more psychological side of your own nature. At times, when you don't necessarily get the answers that you want, it may be easy to think that the world and the planets are conspiring against you. We can all think like this at times. But actually it's more to do with what's going on inside of you. Jupiter is slowly but surely teaching you more and more about what really makes you tick and the belief systems that are important to you. And he is going to go forwards on the 9th of this month in a very helpful way. By the end of this month, I think there can be a sense that things are really speeding up, opening up, and getting really quite excited. And if you are looking for a new experience, or you're trying to re-engage as an individual or be more independent and adventurous, the last 10 days can be absolutely thrilling. But I do think some major transformation is going to go on in the first 2/3 of May for you. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.